Okay.
Okay, can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll go over here. And here we go. Okay. Can you guys still see me as well?
Yes.
Oh, okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, in the corner. Mm-hmm.
Okay, good evening, ladies. I chose a training topic that I thought everyone could benefit from, and that is how to organize your closet. There are two learning objectives for this training. They are at the end of this training presentation, learners will be able to fully declutter and organize a closet, and they'll also be able to use organizational skills and apply to other areas, such as your garage, bathroom, kitchen, etc. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the movie Clueless, it's a movie that follows the life of an overprivileged teen. And because I have a Mac with like outdated software, I was not able to have the link directly in
Oh.
it. Okay. Now, how ideal would it be to reach that level of organization within your closet? I have a question. When was the last time you organized your closet? Courtney, you can answer first.
Well, actually, it's actually pretty recently because I was just switching my spring and summer clothes into my fall and winter clothes.
Okay.
But I didn't really do much organizing. I just kind of shifted.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Elaine?
Well, I think when I moved where I live now, like almost a year ago,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's pretty bad.
Oh, okay. As you can see, that those are typically the reasons that people reorganize their closet: spring cleaning, revamping a wardrobe due to a new job or something, or just simply moving to a new place. It is recommended to reorganize your closet at least once a year. Now, the benefits of an organized closet are save time because you spend less time looking through clutter for a specific item, and it allows you to have that time for yourself, your loved ones, and other important tasks. It also helps decrease your stress levels because it minimizes the stress that comes along with not being able to find items or even being late because you spent extra time finding a specific item. You can also save money by making a few extra bucks by selling the clothes that you do not put back into your closet, or you can also spend less by not rebuying the same or similar items because you forgot what was actually in your closet. And I was very guilty of that, where I would end up with like two shirts of the same color because I forgot what was in my closet. There is also an altruistic benefit where you can donate your unwanted clothes and help improve someone else's life who may not be able to readily buy new clothes. Now, to get to the actual steps of reorganization. First step is to take everything out. Identify a corral area for all your items that you'll be taking out of your closet. And take out every single thing that is all your clothes, your shoes, boxes, hangers, everything. You should be able to see all your walls, shelves, and floor within your closet. Step two is to separate into three piles. The key pile is for everything that you will be putting back in your closet, and a rule of thumb is that if it has not been worn in the last year and a half, it can go into one of the other two piles. There is also the toss pile, where if it's torn or stained or simply in no condition to be kept or donated, then you put into the toss pile. And for donate, you can also sell, as I mentioned earlier. This is for things that you haven't worn recently, or it's too big or too small, or it still have tags on it because you bought it a long time ago and never got around to wearing it. You can start to think of a charity that you'd like to donate them to, such as Goodwill or Salvation Army, or you can sell them to consignment stores such as Plato's Closet. Step three, you can separate your clothes into classifications. Now, this is an optional step, but it really helps for when you're putting your clothes back into your closet, and it also helps when you're getting dressed. You can classify items by the type of clothing it is, so shirts separated from skirts, separated from pants and jeans, etc. You can also break them down into more categories. Like, for example, I keep my work shirts separate from my casual shirts, and my skinny jeans separated from my boot cut jeans, and my heels separated from my flats, from my boots, all that. You can also go even further and break it down based on your season. So keep all your seasonal wear together. The main idea is to classify based on your personal preference. Step four is to clean out the physical closet. So take the time to sweep out the dust, wipe down the shelves and walls. You can even put on a new coat of paint or put up wallpaper. Add lighting because you can't pick out clothes if you really cannot see them. You can also add dividers and containers to help with the organization. I personally have drawer sets outside of my closet, so when I do my reorganization, I clean those out as well. Step five is to return all your clothes back to your closet. Now, first things first, I suggest that you invest in quality hangers. The velvet ones or satin ones are really good because they're kind to your clothes, and they also help save so much more space than the tubular white ones. You can also get wooden ones for more sturdy clothes, such as like blazers and jackets. Then you should create a plan of action that utilizes the categories of clothing. So where will you put each category? How will you store specific items? Lastly, I have a few additional tips. I personally color coordinate the items that are hung up within my closet, and it really helps for days when you're like, oh, I want to wear a red shirt. You go directly to the shirt part of your closet, directly to the red section. Another tip is to put the hangers backwards. After you wear an item and you return it to the closet, hang it backwards so that at the end of the year, you can see the items that are not hanging backwards. Those are things that you have not worn within the last year. So it helps you for the next time you have to reorganize your closet. Lastly, store off-season items outside of the closet. So keep those things in like your garage, your basement, under the bed. That way they are not as accessible and taking up space within your closet. Here's a personal example. So this is my closet, which I was very happy. I recently moved in July, so I got a bigger closet when I moved. On the left, I have like all my dresses. At the top, I have my sweaters and scarves. At the bottom, I have my boxes of shoes, which are mostly boots. And then my shoes progress from like closed toe pumps to open toe shoes to strappy heels, flats, sandals, flip flops. The middle picture, you can see my bags at the very top. And then that middle section has my shirts and sweaters and then skirts against the wall. And then my shirts are color coordinated. Behind those are my jeans and my shorts, and my jeans are separated by like skinny jeans, the boot cut jeans. In the bottom, I keep like my blazers, my pea coats, my jean jackets, and vests. And the last picture just shows you a better glimpse of my shoes. Now, there are some organizational virtual closet apps that allow you to um, organize your closet pretty much like how Share does in the movie Clueless. There's the Closet Plus app, which is kind of like a digital style assistant where you can import and organize pictures of your clothes, and you can create outfits within the app. You can select favorite items of clothing. It allows you to put in the price, and it documents when you last wore the item of clothing, and it tells you the cost per wear. So then you realize you might be spending a little bit more on certain items of clothing. You can also create packing lists for trips prior to even going into your physical closet. The next app, Cloth, is pretty much like the first one, but it also includes real-time weather data. So you're able to see what the weather is like before having to actually step outside and see. Style book is pretty much like the other two, but it allows you to, if you see something online, you can add it to your closet and get to style it with other items within your closet to see if it even fits your style before having to purchase that item. Stylytics allows you to color coordinate your virtual closet.
I think should.
Have other users, such as your friends, weigh in on the purchase before you actually buy the item. Hopefully, I taught you, or at least enlightened you, both on the perks of having an organized closet. I also send out a link for my feedback form, so you guys can fill that out at the end of our presentation. And here are my resources. And that is all.
Cool. That was really nice.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You like to shop.
You don't want to see my closet.
Yeah. Mine is a mess. I think she's having problems with her. Can you see the same thing, I guess? Right?
There's no active camera
Yeah. I think she lost the.
connection.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you want to go next, or do you want me to go?
Oh, there you go. You can go if you want.
Is there another meeting? You see another screen on the
Yeah, there's another screen. I think because. Oh, there it went.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I'll go and share my screen. You guys see my screen?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. I can't see you guys. Can you see me?
Yes.
All right. As long as you guys see me. Let me get this slideshow. All right. So I am going to talk to you guys about the ins and outs of behavioral interviewing. You guys kind of know what behavioral interviewing is?
Nope.
Not really.
Well, we're going to learn today. All right, so we are going to go over our agenda. First, we're going to review the objectives, kind of go over what traditional versus behavioral interviewing is, how to create behavioral questions, and then how to conduct a behavioral interview. We're also going to have a short review quiz, and then time for some question and answers. So our objectives, I have 3 of them. At the end of this training, the learners will be able to know the difference between traditional and behavioral interviewing, know how to create a behavioral interview question, and know how to conduct a behavioral interview. All right, so traditional versus behavioral interviewing. Traditional interviewing is kind of what you think of generally when you're going into an interview. That's when the interviewers ask general questions such as open-ended, tell me about yourself, questions like that, which are much easier to like. Behavioral interviewing, on the other hand, is when the interviewer asks questions about past situations that the candidate has encountered and then how they handle that situation. So the theory being that the past behavior will predict future success. So they're going to talk about a past situation, how they handled it, so that the employer or the interviewer can kind of assess if they think that that was a good way to handle it or not. So this also brings a lot more specific details, making it harder for the interview to lie about these questions. And it's also meant to provide a more objective set of facts for the question or for the interview. We have some pros and cons of traditional interviewing. Pros is, and this is going to be the traditional, what you're kind of thinking of, to tell me about yourself question. They're usually much quicker. They kind of just come to your head and you just say it, things like that. It allows for a more focus. It focuses more on the interviewer's beliefs, management styles, and preferred ways of interacting. So the interviewer kind of guides the interview how they want it. It's not very structured, so often the applicant will feel more comfortable, more relaxed, more like a conversation than an interview. And with this, it makes it easier to establish a rapport with them. Cons, on the other hand, it's very easy for the applicant to lie in these situations. It tells more about the person and not about how the person will act on the job. So it's just determining that the candidate knows the skills, has the knowledge, knows things like that, but it doesn't prove that they can actually do them. The questions are not as detailed nor the answers, and it does have a lower validity. Now, behavioral interviewing is harder for the applicant to lie because of the specific examples. It does give more objective results. The interviewer is asking about a past behavior, so it's kind of almost like they're telling a story. They have a higher predictive ability rate than traditional interviewing, and it does reduce bias. On the other side, though, it does take a while to prepare. The interview can be much longer. It's possible for leading questions to be asked by the interviewer, and the interviewer can sometimes hear what they want to hear, especially when they're hearing a story with a lot of detail. It can get lost in detail. So how do we create behavioral questions? Well, you want to start out about asking about a past situation. Usually you start out the questions with something like, describe a time when you did this, or give an example of a time when this happened. You're then going to ask about a specific knowledge, skill, or characteristic that you want to know about. And then you want to leave the question open-ended so they have to answer something other than yes or no. And then you also want to always leave time for follow-up questions and then probing questions so you can get more information about what the situation was. So these are some examples of behavioral questions. So describe a time when you were faced with a problem at work that tested your coping skills, and what did you do? Give me an example of an important goal that you had to set and your progress in reaching it. And tell me about a situation in your past where you had to deal with a very upset customer or coworker and how did you handle it. These are all good examples of behavioral interview questions. All ask about something in the past, how they handled it. It leaves very open-ended where you have to describe and go into detail about what happened, what did you do, and that also leaves room for more questions. So then how do you conduct a behavioral interview? It's going to be very similar to conducting any other interview that you've really done. So you have to think, when you go into an interview, it's the first thing you do. You introduce yourself. You have an introduction. You sit down, there's usually an icebreaker question, such as like, how are you today, or how did you hear about us? Something that kind of opens the conversation and makes you feel more comfortable, and then establishes that rapport. Then of course, kind of review some background and interest, so your work history, education history, what you want, what you're looking for in jobs. And that's when you go straight into the behavioral questions. So that's when you start asking, well, so this was your past job, so then tell me about a time in so-and-so job that this happened. Or tell me about a time in your schooling that something happened. You can just gain some more information on them that way. After they are answering their questions, you want to critically analyze. We're looking for a STAR method, which is a method for answering behavioral questions, and I have a slide on that as well. You want to leave time for complete answers. These tend to be a little bit longer questions because they are telling that story. They're going into detail. So you have to be able to just kind of sit there and listen for a little bit. And then you always want to ask some follow-up or probing questions. Unless, of course, they went into extensive detail so that we just have every single detail and you don't need to know anything else, generally you're going to want to ask some more questions about it. So the STAR method, it is the best way to respond to behavior-based questions. So that's when the interviewee describes the situation you were in, the task that you need to accomplish, the actions they took, and the results that they got. And in my little picture down there, I have a little bit more detail about what each STAR method is. I have this slide just to kind of describe that and how this is what to expect from the interviewee. So this training is more for the interviewer. Some of the common issues with behavioral interviews, very similar to the con slide that I have on the pros and cons. We're going to go into how to combat some of these issues. So first of all, like I said, it's going to be very dependent. You have all that detail, it's that whole story. You're going to be sitting there for a while. You just have to kind of expect that. There's really no way of getting around this time constraint. You have to know, and you have to let the interviewer know, this is going to be a long range. You don't necessarily have to tell them any of the questions that they should be expecting, but when you're setting up the interview, just know or let them know, hey, you might want to set aside probably an hour or two for this interview. It's not going to be a short 15-minute interview where they can just go in and out. Interviewers may start hearing what they want to hear. So this goes more with when they're talking about the story, they get lost in the details. They might start hearing certain things that they like to hear and that they want to hear, which makes them think, oh, well, I really like this, or I really think that this is interesting. I like this person, and that's what's going to stand out to them. And you have to try and stay away from that, because a lot of detail will keep that in their ball. So you really just want to get the facts, get the behavior. So what you can do is just try to take notes. Of course, when you're interviewing, it's always important to take notes. It's very hard to just remember everything that happens, especially when you're going to be interviewing for an hour or so. So take notes, but when you're taking notes, break down behaviors, actual behaviors that they're doing. Try to veer away from some of just opinions or the extra fluff that they're going to be putting in your story, and keep it strictly to behavior. That way you can try to keep it a little more objective. Another issue is that an interviewer may accidentally ask leading questions. So a leading question would be something where you ask a question, they answer, you're probing for more, but then you're almost leading them into what you want to hear. So, oh, so did you do this? Or I hear you made this, oh, so you're saying that you made this computer program. Well, did you do this, this, and this? But like leading them into answering, then of course, well, what made you say? Yes, of course, that's what I did, and I also did this. And so you don't want to lead those questions. You don't want to kind of give away what you're asking for. So in those kind of situations, especially with probing questions or follow-up questions, you really just want to kind of stick to W questions. You know, the who, what, when, where, why. Keep it very simple. That way, they, and you can just kind of absorb that. You don't want to start giving them answers, because that's kind of the purpose of your interview. And then finally, due to the structure, the candidate may not feel at ease, and you might have a negative perception of the organization. So think, for example, if you're sitting in an interview and you're talking to somebody and you're trying to have a conversation with them, but they have, these specific questions they have to ask, and they're just sitting with their head down, writing notes, not looking at you. Maybe they're just like shooting questions at you, especially if you're thinking they're asking you like, who was this, what was this, asking those W questions. You might almost feel kind of attacked, and you might not really feel at ease. You might not really feel like this company is going to be a great fit for you, especially if you are more of a customer or person and you want to have that interaction. Sometimes if you have too much structure, you can kind of take away from that. So what I can suggest would be, be an active listener. Don't be looking at your notes, writing. Of course, write notes, but look at them, especially when they're speaking. Kind of nod along, show that you're interested. This is really where people's skills will come into interviewing, and it really does make a difference. can go both ways. I mean, of course, you're interviewing them for a job, but maybe that they are the best candidate for that job, and you know you're interviewing for a really specific person, so you don't want to be scaring away or pushing away the. All right, so now I have a review for you guys. Just kind of go over some of the questions or some of the things that we spoke about. So, true or false? Behavioral interviewing is when interviewers ask about situations that could happen in the future and how their candidate would handle that particular situation. No.
False.
It is
Okay.
false. Just because it says what happened about situations like in the future. You're asking about situations past. All right. And then, all right, question number 2. Is the following an example of good behavioral question? Why or why not? Give me an example of when you had to show good leadership.
I don't think so. I don't think it's a behavioral question.
Why or why not?
Um, let's see. It's give me an example of when you demonstrate leadership, or
When you had to show good leadership, the demonstration of good leadership.
oh no. Well, I think it might be okay. It might be a behavioral question because you may have to step in a situation where you need those leadership skills that some people might not have, and you need to handle the situation as a leader. um, I don't know if that's
So it actually, it's kind of a tricky one. That's kind of why I threw it in here.
okay.
It is a behavioral question because it's asking about a time in the past. Give me an
Oh,
example. So like remember when I was saying when you're forming these questions, it's gonna be like give me an example of a time or describe a time when or tell me about a time. So it kind of gives that in the beginning. So give me an example of when you had to show good leadership.
okay.
So you have to think back of a time when you were showing good leadership and you have to kind of give it details and kind of go into context of what that example was. Sound good?
Okay. Yeah.
Any questions?
No.
Alright, I got 2 little more reviews for us. Alright, so asking and leading questions are common issues when getting to behavioral interviews. How can we combat against this? So the leading questions, that's what I said when you're probing and you start almost giving them the answers. You start asking them and saying, oh, well, so you did this, did you also do this, this, and this? Those are leading questions. So how do we combat against that? A hint had to do with how we ask questions. There's certain letters.
The W.
The why, when,
Yeah.
where, who.
Keep the questions simple. Keep them just to like as little detail as possible. Okay? When they answer questions, okay, well, why did that happen? Or
Okay.
like things like that. Who was saying this? Just keep the questions very simple. And then, so what's a pro and a con of traditional interviewing? One of you want to grab a pro and one of you want to grab a con?
A pro is that it's quicker.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a con is that lower validity.
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful. A plus, guys. All right. Any questions?
No, not really a question, but I never like I had those interviews before, and I never thought they were called like behavioral interviews. So it was like interesting when you started talking about, oh, tell me about a situation in the past, and I was like, oh yeah, I have that. So it's cool.
Yeah. So there's a huge thing around structural interviews. So where it would be like a situation, and they would say, so tell me what you would do in this situation, where they give you this entire situation, and that's just asking how you would handle it. So kind of two different ways where you can have a structural interview, and this is just one of the ways that I've had the most experience with, so I thought I would share it with you guys.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
And there's my references.
And it's what?
Those are my references.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if for you changed, Tanisha, but for me, it never changed the slides.
Yeah, it stayed stuck.
And the star method, it stay there. Yeah, I didn't feel like interrupting you. I was like, should I say
Same here.
something? Yeah. But I don't know why. Because you, like, I don't know if it's the connection, because you, like, I can see your face and you don't seem like freezing or anything. So I don't know why the screen just, like, I don't know, didn't.
I'm not sure. I will send you guys my slides though.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Cool. Yes. You don't? Okay. All right. Let me share my screen now. Did it share? I don't know. Can you see my screen? Can you all see my screen or?
Yes,
Okay.
it's there.
Okay. Cool. Alrighty. So I'm gonna talk about emotional intelligence, and I'm gonna talk about this tool that is called The Line, and I believe it's developed by Top 20 Training. All right, so the learning objectives for this training will be the trainee will be able to define emotional intelligence. It will be able to identify aspects associated with emotional intelligence. It will be able to interpret the line, and it will be able to apply the techniques to harness the energy of their emotional mind. So, what do you know about emotional intelligence, ladies? Tanisha, you could go first.
I don't know exactly how to put it in words. I remember touching on it in like one of my intro to psych classes. That was like many years ago.
What do you kind of remember?
I remember talking about this, and it was more about like how you handle yourself, how you handle like almost like your emotions, how you don't show like anger at work and things like that. Or that's kind of the gist that I got from it.
Okay, and for you, Courtney?
That was Brittany.
Oh, I'm sorry. Like I don't see the screens of your faces, so it's like okay.
Sorry, I cut in.
That's fine. So Tanisha, you remember something?
I think that was about it, and being
Yeah.
able to like, I guess, pick up on emotions on when to use it in different, settings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's basically yeah, self-awareness, self-regulation management, social skills, motivation, passion, and empathy. Um, Emotional intelligence can be separated into internal and external. Internal, well, awareness of emotions, what triggers the emotion, and harness of the emotion towards goal behavior. Yeah. And then external, it's awareness of other people's emotions, response to others' emotions, and harness the emotional energy of the group towards goal behavior. The line. So this is I really like this. So if you're above the line, then you have a positive view on life, and if you're below, you have a negative view in life. So above the line, you have increased clarity, thinking and emotions working together. You're the leader in your life. You taking charge of inside experience to change outside experience. Below the line, you have decreased clarity, thinking and emotions not working together. You're the victim in your life, and you're waiting for outside experience to change to get a better inside experience. Okay, so can you tell me, describe a time when your thinking was working on your best interest above the line, and when it wasn't working on your best interest, so it was below the line?
that I was getting this new job and I was gonna move, to a state that I've never been to with no one else. But I was excited because it was like the jobs in project management and it's something I've been interested in. So then I felt like, finally I'm taking charge. I'm gonna like move on to the next step. Everything is gonna work out wonderful. And then below the line, I would say maybe about a week and a half ago, I because I have like it finally I guess hit me because everyone that I talked to, they're like, oh my gosh, you're in the military, oh my gosh, you're a full-time student and you work, oh my goodness, you're so great. And then I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, no, I'm not, I don't have everything together. I'm like freaking out on how to just have everything like have its own place but still like not lose it. So I was below the line about a week and a half ago.
I will say, yeah, I will say, since you said that, you didn't lose it, I will say that you were above the line
Mm-hmm.
because you were in control. Like you knew, like, oh my God, like I feel stress or this and that, but you're not blaming others. You're not being the victim. So that's a great example of being above the line.
Okay.
And for you, Courtney, right?
Trying to think, I don't feel like I've had an experience that I can really think of, a good experience from like below the line. I kind of almost think, is that almost like when you kind of lose your cool and go off?
Yeah, yeah. It is more for people who really don't know how to handle themselves. Like if you're working and you just have a, I don't know, this heated conversation with a client, and they don't get the service, or they don't, you're having a hard time getting the message through. And then some people can lose their cool, like, oh, some people can lose. It's more like I would say, like, kind of anger management. Some people that don't know how to handle, being under the weather. So below the line.
Okay,
Hmm.
yeah. I feel like with the under the line, I feel like that happens much more in like my personal life,
Hmm.
uh, business aspect. I think with business, I tend to stay a little bit more above the line. So, for example, with my job, I am a staffing manager. So I deal with a lot of clients all the time who need associates, and then I also deal with a lot of associates who aren't
Yeah.
exactly staffing. And so I think even with them just yelling and yelling and yelling, especially like today is Friday, today's payday, so if their pay is wrong or anything like that, of course they're upset and they're yelling, and it's just kind of keeping yourself together and not, yelling back when really there's nothing you can do. And I think that I have more like work related instances for above the line, but definitely I think more like family and like that
Yeah.
kind of thing.
And a good example of both could be when people don't know how to live their personal life outside of work. And or maybe it's something going on in their life, like maybe the loss of someone they love, or a divorce, custody issues, something that really gets you. And even if you're at work and you need to live your personal life out, it still, affects you in some way. So it's kind of how to handle those emotions. Great, thank you. Oh, I forgot that I. Oh, yeah. So when you're above the line, you're the leader in your life, and then when you're below the line, so it's like, my name is victim. All right. So think of where you're living. What percent of the time are you living above the line? What percent of the time you're living below the line? Where is your home? And as you both mentioned, you're kind of like more above the line than below. Um, so your home is pretty much, I don't know, maybe 70, 80, 10. For me is yeah, I will say, I'm trying to think of a time where I was below the line. Well, I can think of, yeah, last year, um, I have a one of my brother. He's in jail, and it's been really hard on my family, especially my mom and my dad. And I remember going to work and getting a call, and I couldn't call in and not going to work. I just wanted to cry, like really, just thinking not because of my brother, because he's an adult and whatever, but my parents, my mom and my dad. And I remember like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be at work, and or I need a break, or I need a moment where I can just cry and let this out. And I did. I asked my manager like, hey, like I'm having this situation. I just need like a couple minutes and I'll be back. And oops, oh, and they did. So they gave me some time, and I could compose myself, and because it's a really stressful situation. So I guess it's always about how you handle your emotions at the end of the day. All right. So how life looks when you're above the line? Well, you're the leader in your life, and when you're below the line, well, you're blaming others and pointing out and being the victim. So we don't want to look like the guy on the on the right. All right, so what to do when we feel below or above the line? So we have trampolines. That's one of the techniques. Are things you can do when you recognize you're below the line to get yourself back up above the line. So you can pray, exercise, take a break, call in a friend, yoga, writing, whatever helps you, get back on track. We also have the submarines, ways you can protect others from harm when you're below the line and you'll be there for a while. Let people know you're below the line. Take a break and be gentle with yourself, and don't expect too much of yourself. The line at work. For me, I see having emotionally intelligent employees can help them to view problems differently at work and outside of work, and it will improve the work environment. An emotionally intelligent supervisor, manager, can help the employees sort through the options that can help the employee get back above the line. Kind of like serve as a trampoline and get. I think it would be so nice in the job having supervisors, managers, directors that think positive, and like we spend so much time working, and it could be hard to be happy and bubbly all the time, and available to work, and yeah, I'll do it. We know how people go into social media and take breaks and everything because they're stressed out, they need a break, they don't want to be in front of the computer all day. So it would be nice if an employee can openly go to their supervisor and say, hey, today I'm feeling below the line, so that person can have some space, that supervisor can be understanding, and if something happened with that employee, the supervisor can have their back at the same time. Like, I know, this person was going through a hard time today, or today wasn't, like, we don't all have good days, right? There are some days that you are just not having it. So it's up to you to decide. You can let sadness be your magnet or hope be your masterpiece. And more information about the line, you can find it at toptraining.com. And that's it. You have any questions or?
So, emotional intelligence, you were saying how you could have a manager, or you could go to your manager and kind of say, I'm not really feeling above, or I'm not really feeling above the line, or I'm feeling below the line. What if your job is like primarily customer service based?
I think it could help. I've always worked customer service. Okay, we're back. So I have always worked with customers in stores, restaurants, and I haven't had, like I said, the experience that I have the last year. So it's difficult because you always have to put your smile and be nice and bubbly. But I think that's when you take a break, or and you have a supervisor that can give you some moment, like, okay, make the phone call that you need to do, or yeah, you can take 10 minutes, or if you have more staff that can cover it, like if you're not, because as a supervisor I don't want to have someone being the face to the customers that is having a bad day because I don't have like, so it's kind of like if you can send that person home, take the evening, take the morning, or take the day and come back later. Or what do you need to do to feel better? Well, I just need to walk. And so I don't know. I think there are some certain things that you can do. And I've always been open like that. Maybe because I went to school for psychology. So to all my supervisors, so I try to, hey, I'm not feeling good. Right now I work in an office environment. So if I don't feel good, I just don't look around and focus on my computer, and that's it. But before that, yeah. And at least with me, I always had this, oh, I have to put on a show because, I have the customer. So maybe behind doors, I was like, oh, I'm so mad, or I'm so sad. And then it's like, hey, how are you? So it's something you learn. It's like, that's your job. That's what you have to do. So I guess it has to do with how the manager can handle that employee. And as I say, having an emotional intelligent supervisor manager can help. You don't have to be emotional intelligent, but let me help you handle this right now. And maybe that person can use that in the future in their personal life. Like, oh, I remember when my supervisor told me this that day, and to take deep breath and count to 10, something that we don't, we, for me, I always heard that, oh, count to 10, take a deep breath, and you don't do it. But when you actually do, you're like, oh, I actually feel good. I actually feel relaxed. So, yeah. hmm You have another question? No? All good. All right. So, thank you. So, I guess we'll email you your form, Courtney, and then mine. It's on the email, the link. Yeah. Thank you for joining tonight, this evening. Yeah. No, that's fine. Yeah. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, you guys have a good weekend.
Bye. Take care.